Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of a question and answer. Everybody seems to really like these Q&A sessions that I've gotten, so decided to grab a guest as I posted on social media, and as you can see, it's
Howdy.
Mr. Oliver Lang. And before we get into it, as you can see, the map that we have behind us is very fitting because we both like to travel around the world, and as a lot of people know, Oliver, as you can tell by the hat and the different clothing options here, that he's been traveling around and trying to blend in. You want to give everybody a little heads up on what you're doing?
Yeah, currently I've liquidated, put all my money into a van, and I'm driving cross country. We're stopping at all the great American hangouts along the way. Currently we're in Santa Fe. Next stop, Dallas, Texas.
So what's so far your favorite stop? So you left from Northern California, met us at practice, then drove straight to Vegas, and as soon as you left Vegas, in between then and now, you've been...
Yeah, we have no agenda. It's just myself, my old lady, and my dog. And yeah, we're just, looking at the map, looking at hot springs, looking at, cool areas to explore.
I think that everybody who is watching this has also seen our Iceland video, and they know that you love hot springs.
Pretty much what I did is I got rid of Ryan, got a nicer van, got a hot girlfriend, and am still doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good win right there. All right, let's get into everybody's comments and questions right here. So I'm going to go right off the top for the first person who said at Ollie Lang as a guest. This is from at DMAXPB, DMax Paintball, I believe. His question is, what's the worst injury you've had playing paintball? Also, what is the most memorable moment you've ever had since you started playing paintball?
Whoa, two questions. Yeah. Two good questions. Well, I don't know about the first one. I've been very blessed by the paintball gods. Lots of meditating and thanking them. I've not had any serious injuries playing paintball. Knock on wood. I think the worst injuries are minor ones like jamming my fingers. So I'm very lucky. The best, most memorable moment, I think the best, most memorable moment was the first time I crawled through the woods and saw a guy laying on his belly and had my pump gun and was like, and shot him. It was like, whoa, that was fun. So that was probably one of the hooks.
There you go. Thanks, DMaxPB. Let's see here. We've got Cole underscore Lampkin on Instagram said, his question is, what's your favorite gun? For me, it's the Go3. That is a good one. Right now, the CS1's pretty cool. It's really ergonomic, but the Go3 platform, I think everybody loves that. And the 3, the 3.1, the 3.5. I've always stayed with that platform of gun. Oliver, you've been kind of jumping around the LV1, the Go, the thing, depending on what the scenario is. What do you think?
There's different reasons I like to jump back and forth for them. And to tell you the truth, it's kind of complicated to understand it. But the LV1 shoots a completely different way. And the Geos shoot really, really, accurately. They're much tighter of a profile gun, whereas an LV1, I feel like I'm kind of hunting big game.
You get a lot of shots out of those ones. All right, at ant.j.val, he actually wanted Tyler. Sorry, but
oh, it's okay.
Sorry, but
Tyler's cool.
Tyler is cool. He said he's a crazy ass, and with that, he wondering if we're gonna do another Crash to the Coast in San Diego. Hope so. That's up to HK, and if we do, I know I will be available out there. Oliver will be in his Westphalia van with his hot girlfriend and dog, driving east towards
I'll be in the hot spring.
In the hot springs. All right. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Whistler.69. All I want to know is why aren't you and the rest of the team gonna be at Paint Fest with Ollie? Now that would be epic.
That would be epic.
You are going to Paint Fest.
Paint Fest is going to be a seriously good time in England with all of our old sponsors, the guys who used to own WDP, which used to make the Angel, which might be past you guys. But the gun was the hot deal back in the day. They threw the best events and had the best parties, and they have a paintball field in England. And yeah, I'm coming out there. They asked me to come out there. They're old-time friends, so it's going to be a blast. We're going to do a clinic, and you know, you guys all get to shoot me.
Or try to. Okay, on the Facebook real quick, on the fan page, Andrew McCraw said, I'd love to hear your opinion of the limited paint format. The Millennium Series has adopted it, and if you think the NXL should adopt it, the format or not, is 2 pods too little or not enough? And do you think the format will bring more players in the tournament scene? He also wanted Oliver for the guest, so you're welcome.
Andrew, honestly, really good question. To tell you the truth, I haven't played.
No, you did. World Cup.
No, I didn't. I wasn't there.
Oh.
I haven't played that format, and I don't really believe in it. But ultimately, the game has always been changing. It's always in fluctuation, and they're doing what they can do, what they think they can do the best. And you know, we're always going to evolve to it. And I think every paintball player is you know, whatever the case is. I mean, we started out playing this type of game. If you ask me, I kind of think we're going backwards. I don't really approve of it because I think that you lose a lot of the some very valuable, important strategic, you know, points in the game, like holding lanes. That's a big part of the game. You know, being able to bully people and muscle people with, you know, using your gun and being able to apply pressure. And I'm that type of player. So yeah, I don't think 2 pods is enough. Now, are we going to be able to play it? Yeah, we'll be able to play it. Will we do good at it? Yeah, we'll probably do good at it. Will it probably help the sport?
Too early to tell, maybe.
You know, I would like to say yeah, and I would like to hope yeah, but I don't think that's the saving grace for the game. You know, also too, I would like to think that maybe we play at a different level, something as people could work up to, you know. But ultimately, you know, it is what it is, and these guys, you know, they do whatever they want to do. And, you know, they say it's for you, they say it's for us, but I don't know, I think it's for their pocketbooks sometimes. So.
Yeah, and I totally agree, and to touch on what Oliver said is, you know, Dynasties played, we went 10-man in the woods, we did hyperball, we had the invention of airball, the invention of hyperball, we went to 7-man, 5-man, 3-man, one-on-ones. We've done the whole entire smorgasbord of paintball. We played in Europe, we played race to format, unlimited format, 15 balls a second, 10.5, 10.2, and we've won them all. And we've done well at them all. And the biggest thing is we've been able to adapt. So I've had the opportunity to play the M500. It's not as exciting in the fact that, you know, that you're not getting like what Oliver said, is you're not getting a lot of that bullying and you're not getting people holding lanes. But on the flip side of it, you're able to make a few more moves, but 2 pods is really little paint. It does help the consumer on your guys' end because you shoot about 40% less paint per match. However, you know, is that going to translate to you guys playing more paintball? That's what everybody's hoping, so we'll see. Now, again, like you said, on the pro side of things, you know, should they limit us? I guess that would actually kind of go on to the next question that we have for Oliver from Diego Garcia, and he said,
I like Diego.
What would you recommend to somebody like me from D5 on how to go pro from here? How many years does it take? So just really quickly to transition to that, you know, if we allowed only the lower divisions to do the M500 and then the pros had unlimited paint, then that would make that that gap of difference.
Or you raise it progressively through each division. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, you know, Diego, it's not easy to become professional in anything you do. You have to really love it, and you have to really commit your life to it if that's what it is. And, you know, I think people kind of get this misconception like it's easy to become professional, and it's not. I mean, look at, you know, baseball teams and football teams and hockey teams. Like, people work really hard their whole entire life for something like this. For us, you know, we've been doing this since, you know, we were in our mid-teens, and, you know, now we're 33 years old, 34, and we've just, you know, we're just, you know, I mean, we're cruising along. So I don't think you can put a time on anything. I think if you really do truly love it and you are willing to, you know, put in the effort to learn, to take clinics, to, you know, read some of this paintball literature that's on the web, to watch videos, to watch tape, to go out and practice, really push, your boundaries in it, and hopefully create, some sort of paintball community, then you can probably excel within a couple years, and maybe even become pro within a couple years. But we don't really see too many people doing this now, because really, there's no written or proper way how to do it. So it's really up to you.
Yeah, there you go. Like you said, we've been doing this for a long time, so and we're constantly evolving, and we're arguing with each other about what the best method is. So you can never be good enough. Yes, we did go pro at a pretty young age, but we're constantly evolving and getting better. So very good question. On to our friend Dan Shelley.
Yeah, Dan!
Who said, bring Ollie on.
I love Dan.
His question is, what are some of your career and personal goals off of the field?
Cool, good question, Dan. What I've been really focusing on lately is taking what I've learned from paintball and applying that to my real life. And this is something that I think anybody who becomes really good at something, you can start to break down and analyze the little bits and pieces, from some of the simple things to some of the complex things, like how I deal with people, how do I deal with my teammates, how do I deal with people outside of the field, how do I prepare myself for the event, and that's also preparing myself, as a human being on an everyday basis, and that, goes down to the food and nutrition, exercise, mental tenacity and clarity. These are all things that I'm taking from paintball and applying to my real life. Some of my personal goals is I would like to formulate some sort of material that I can share with you guys. Stuff like this is really great because you're able to answer questions. But I'd like to make it more full on, more of like a personal development, more of, you come to me and I teach you, because that's how these things work. When you have, masters of something, of whatever it is, if it's some sort of sport, or even Tai Chi or Qigong or karate, you have masters and you come to them and they teach you the wisdom. And I would like to somehow formulate some sort of school or some sort of educational platform so that you could come to me and I could give you this.
And something like to add on that to something, in not just a one-day paintball clinic.
Right.
It's really important that if you have the opportunity to come to one of our paintball clinics, we try to share as much knowledge as possible. But there's only so much we can share in one day and with a group of people. But I think what Oliver's, ideally moving forward to, and I think this is everybody's goal, is to be able to share our experiences within life and what we've known and what we've learned along the way, and be able to give you guys as much of that knowledge in a very timely manner, and spread it out, and make sure that we're giving you guys the information, not just like bing bang boop, here's a clinic, here's as much information as we can cram into one day, but study the mastery of it.
Yeah, the platform that we have now has been something that we've been doing for quite some time, but there's a next level to it,
right.
And Ryan and I have been doing this for a long time, like we said, and we're still collecting the information of how to teach it, and that's why I find it's very important for when you guys do decide to take clinics, that you take it from people who have the proper material, not just any Joe
right.
Schmo that's trying to do something, because he could be teaching you something completely wrong, you know what I'm saying? And so it's really important that you go to a Ryan Greenspan clinic, you go to a Marcelo Margot clinic, you go to these clinics with guys who have tried and tested and proven that the way they do things work.
Right. Okay, great answer. Still going down the list, Tyler Arenas, another Ollie fan, Tyler Arens. Have you ever put an egg inside the microwave until it exploded?
Tyler,
no.
Don't even be close to microwaves. Anybody out there, throw your microwave out into the garbage. I've never put an egg in a microwave, nor do I ever use a microwave.
Anymore.
For a long time now.
Okay, Alex Anstey, Ollie, how long and how did you get to where you are today? I think we already answered that question.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of a couple of questions before, but he said, can't wait to see you at Paint Fest. I'm actually a little jealous that I'm not going to Paint Fest. This is the second person that's commented on it.
Should be.
Rob Martin, I love Oliver. he does want to hear more from Alex Eggs Fragi, but he asked what the story is on how he became captain.
Good question.
I think it was kind of one of those things where there was always a mandatory captain's meeting, and there was always someone who had to flip the coin, because back in the day, you always had to flip the coin.
And Alex
is super good at flipping the coin. So, and we didn't want to sit at the captain's meeting all day.
He got it by default. But it actually,
he's a super good coin flipper.
And he wins every time. You can't, he can't lose.
And Rochambeau, because sometimes they'll throw those out there.
Or pick the ball trick. But I think it actually has been a great boost for Alex being the captain, because it gives him, it gives him that status. And, he needs that. It's good for him.
Yeah. Okay, here's a good question. This is super good. This is good for everybody out there. Juan Diaz asked, Oliver, would you be willing to sign my Dynasty jersey when I buy it from HK? And I'll make sure to write it in the subscription box. Yeah, please. We welcome anybody, especially if you guys are at an event, come up, say hi, come over and grab an autograph, grab a picture, say hi to us, and shake our hands.
And this is a huge thing, because we want to connect with you guys. And, the thing is there's a million things going on for us. So the more you can come find us and ask us, we're always happy to do it. We were paintball fans. I still have jerseys with signatures on it from, pros that I looked up to. So please come find us. And, also too, supporting us with buying our jerseys is a really incredible thing, because, again, we don't make tons of money like people might think in paintball. Jersey sales are a great way for us to, break even with coming to practices and, the grind of it. So we appreciate you guys supporting us with buying our jerseys, and we thank you. We'd love to sign them.
All right, back over to Instagram. Here's a quick question from Lucas __ Longo _ 69. Are you doing any clinics in Ontario, Canada? Yes, sometimes we do. If anybody wants to have a clinic by myself or Oliver or Marcelo or any of the guys, get a hold of, the first thing you should do is, if you don't have a team or a field, get a hold of your local field operator, have them contact us, and we'll be happy to send over all the information. I've done a couple of clinics in Canada. I know that you've done a couple of clinics in Canada in the past, but yeah, get a hold of us.
Canadian paintball, the times that I've been there have been it's been really cool. Canadians, you guys are just chomping at the bit to get good, and the clinics are always a big success. And so another thing to do is, sometimes people email me and say, hey, come do a clinic here, and you're just, a participant. What you want to do is you want to go to your field owner and or store owner and propose getting a professional to come to you. Now, the way that, and then they have them contact us, because these people are businessmen, they understand business, they understand the cost of getting us out there and making it happen and the promotions of it. If you're a third party and you want to have a clinic, you can do that yourself, but know that it's going to be a lot of work, and you're going to have to pay the field out and pay the paint, yada, yada, yada. So most importantly, if you are a kid and you want to have a clinic, get a group of people together and say, hey, we want Ryan Greenspan to come out here, and tell the owner of the field and have him contact Ryan.
Yeah. So that's the best way to pretty much get anything done, is power and numbers kind of thing, and get a hold of the people who can make it happen. This is a good question. Mitch 633. How did you get the money to play paintball when you were a kid?
Good question.
Great question. I mowed lawns, did chores, got good grades in school, because that is important to make sure you appease your family and your parents to stay in school. We worked at the paintball field. Yeah. I sold hot dogs and hamburgers at the paintball field.
Yeah. You make it happen. Yeah. If you really want to make it happen, you make it happen. But the one thing that Ryan touched on that I know that I couldn't have done it without is my mom. And you got to be as good to your parents as you can, because they are the ones who are supporting you. And as kids, you don't realize this. Now that we're getting to be adults and we got all these bills and you got to pay for rent and car, you don't, it's a very thankless job being a parent. They do a lot for you. And, they ask for some simple things. And whatever they are, please do them, because they are the people who are who hold the keys to the gateway for you to play paintball. And my mom supported me financially playing paintball, and I begged her on my hands and knees numerous times for early birthday presents, early Christmas presents, so that I could go to events, so that I could have money for practice, yada yada. But at the same time, we were doing everything we could possibly do around the house. Like Ryan said, he worked at the paintball field selling hot dogs. I worked at the paintball field, got paid in paint just so I could play the next day on Saturday or on Sunday. So, you know, if you really want to do it, you can make it happen. And you know,
You gotta work hard.
The other thing is you don't need all of the bells and whistles. You know, you have a good gun and a good pair of goggles and a butt pack and some cleats. You know, you can, and some pads. You know, you're out there doing it, you know, and then the other stuff can come.
All right, okay, quickly on to the next one is Walker_Sandler. Why'd you start playing professional paintball, and what was the first paintball gun you ever got? My first paintball gun was a Diablo pump. It was a little pump gun. I went through 3 different pump guns. Oliver has a funnier evolution of his paintball gun story. But why do we play professional paintball? Because our competitive nature and our skills and our abilities is what it took us to that next level, and that's what we strive to be. You know, we didn't have the internet and all these videos to kind of watch. We had the local teams and paintball magazines, and we wanted to be those guys in the paintball magazines. And we started competing, and we were fortunate enough to be very good at what we did back then. And the natural progression of things was to keep moving forward and jump onto the next level.
Yeah, you know.
Ollie, have you ever thought about doing a clinic in Hawaii? I could probably think, yeah, let's do it. Which one you want to do?
What's the life of a pro paintball player like, and is it easy to get into it?
Okay, this is from TCAUNT. I'm not sure the the pronunciation of that. 2803. T-Cont 2803.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that the life of a paintball player is awesome, because anytime you get to do what you really love to do and make a little bit of money through it, maybe a lot of money one day, it's a blessing. It's a total blessing. You know, we've been able to travel around the world and make many great friends, experience things that we would have never experienced if we didn't do this. So there's something that's also much more rewarding just in that factor, you know, and so it's a treat, it's a gift. We're lucky.
Yeah, very lucky. So we can't thank everybody enough for that. C.Wilson20, where's your favorite place you've ever traveled to? Let's do one personal and one paintball related.
Cool, you go first.
Okay, paintball related, South Africa. I think that was the coolest place I've been. The very first really big trip we went on and dove with great white sharks. I think a lot of people have seen those videos also. My favorite personal place, I'm gonna stick within Africa. It's a toss-up between Bali, actually, which you love, and like between West and East Africa. I know that those kind of seem kind of scary and crazy places to go, but man, I love Africa in general. And when you get into those rural, you know, what are sometimes thought to have been the kind of more dangerous and the scarier places, and you find out that they're beautiful and there's a lot to offer. I just love that's, you know, this whole little, you see those little pins all through here? Uganda, Rwanda, Mount Kilimanjaro is right there, Libreville, which is in central West Africa. I mean, you can't always just look to the news to give you the information that to say that some place is not safe, because that's not always the case.
Yeah. I would say my favorite place that I went for paintball was Japan. Because this was our first clinic ever. We didn't even know what we were doing. Alex and I went. They didn't speak any English, and somehow we got across to them the concept of paintball and how to play it. So that was heavily rewarding as a teacher, and also being able to explore Japan was pretty wild, and especially at a young age. Traveling personally, such a tough question there. There's so many great places. I will say that probably India was one of my favorite places, because it's just like Ryan was saying, it's just really raw, and there's a lot of action, a lot of color, a lot of noise, a lot of smells, and you know, it's just a big, really ancient place, and I really recommend it.
Awesome, and then we're gonna parlay that one into Bagel Pool's comment or question. What's your favorite memory of traveling with a team member and favorite overseas? And I'm actually gonna, just because I just got back from Barcelona, and I remember about 10 or so years ago with the original Dynasty squad, we went out there and we went to this 200-year-old absinthe bar. Well, actually then it was like 180 years old. 190, because this year I went back and it was right in that 200-year mark.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
back.
established in 1820.
Yeah,
so
Dolly and all those guys.
Yeah. It's really cool. And Barcelona was an awesome place, and I remember we drank a lot of absinthe and really.
No, only like one or two.
Well, not a lot. Yeah, just two little absinthe drinks. And you're just out of here.
The real absinthe.
We were climbing on things.
And you lit it on fire and you burned the sugar and then you put it in
memorable.
there. That was probably one of the most memorable. You know, the thing is, when we were young, those memories are just so much more. They're so ripe. You know, so I would have to say something like that. You know, one of those. That was a good time.
Mm-hmm. That was a lot of fun. There we go. See, he told you it was memorable. Empire Nick 22. We'll answer. You got 2 questions, so we'll try.
Nick Sloviak doesn't work for
Empire Nick 22. What is the best advice to a new timer? And also, do you ever go out and play for fun? I do go out and play for fun. It's hard to find an open weekend that I can go out there and do it. And the best advice I would give to a new timer would be new coming paintball player is to remember to have fun. That's the big thing. I mean, I think kind of like you answered it in your next question, because the reason we started playing paintball is because it's fun.
Totally. I mean, you gotta keep that little gem of always having fun. You know.
A-Rod at Yo Neck. I've never been shot in the privates and I don't want to, but what do you pros use for protection? Well, funny you should say that, because I've been shot several times and I've been thinking about what I need to put down there to protect myself. Blake just bought.
You're putting kind bars down there.
Yeah, I'm gonna stack kind bars under there and jerky. It's already pretty much jerky at this point. Do you wear any padding, or is everything?
No, I mean I've been nailed in there once or twice. You know, you just have to. I don't know what to say. You just have to hope it doesn't happen. You know, but yeah, you can wear a cup and whatnot. But they used to make some nice slide pads that had a little protector, and I'm sure you could find those somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bobby Aviles, I heard he puts like a cloth in there, like a loin cloth in his area. Ooh, this is an interesting question. BMore138. If you could play tournament paintball one more time, which team would it be against? Wow.
Would you want to do?
Or would you want to do a one-on-one with somebody?
So
you play tournament paintball against.
And then I had to retire.
Yeah.
I mean,
you get to play tournament. You get to play one finals again, maybe.
I mean, any team in paintball, because I mean, I would like go back on some of these teams that used to like kick our ass and like
back in time,
like the old Avalanche or something like that.
Yeah.
Just romp them
now. Yeah, we could go if we could take our bodies now and what we know and go back and play Chris Lasoya.
Yeah, take them down, dude.
I like that. Good question. Good answer. Do you have any at-home drills? Cole PB _.
Good question. You know, I would say a good at-home drill is just to have your gun and put it in your hand and walk around the house with it. Mm-hmm. You know, watch TV and just hold it, and you know, you can do silly things like post it up here and there. But I really think the more you hold your gun in your hand, the more you're gonna get, accustomed to it. It's just like a paintbrush. You know, the more you paint, the better you're gonna get at it. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, just get comfortable with it. That's a really good idea. Let's see here. Peter VT Trade. What part of the world would you guys recommend traveling to the most? We answered that question, but I wanted to shout you out anyway. Check out Africa, check out India, check out Bali.
If you had a coconut.
Zach Fassy. Zach _Fassy. You want to read this one?
If you had a coconut in your hand right now
and you couldn't
eat it, what would you do? I'd hit him with it.
I would plant it because I'm I wouldn't want to. I don't want to cause.
Were you gonna plant it in your room?
Well, you know, that's why I get hit. Thanks, buddy. Elliot Bishop, Q&A. How likely is it that Bear DeGidio will be remembered as the greatest paintball player of all time? Well, it's funny you say that because there is a possibility, because with the amount of social media content that he has and the fields that he has. If you ask Kobe Bryant, apparently, Kobe Bryant said, well, Bear, who's the best paintball player in the world? And he said, I am, Kobe. That's why I have this paintball park. This is a story he told me, so unfortunately.
If you tell Kobe Bryant that you're the best, then you're the best.
Yeah, so unfortunately it could be him. Here's another guy who asked if he would sign the Oliver jersey.
Anything on Twitter?
Jay Diaz. No, Twitter has been pretty quiet. Actually, I'll check it right now. we'll go with
What's going on with the Under Armour?
yeah. Underscore little or Lil underscore Scalabrine. What's going on with the Under Armour deal? That's a good sign off for us because, as a lot of people know, Dynasty is always pushing the envelope and pushing the bar as far as outside industry sponsors. So Under Armour has taken a liking to paintball. One of their reps, one of their actual head up guys, used to play a long time ago and contacted us and said they love what we do with the social media. They love what we do with the fan interaction and what we've done for the sport in general. Because obviously we've been a name in paintball for a long time. So he's recognized that, and right now we're trying to get paintball involved. Under Armour involved in paintball, and get the word out there because everybody does need to buy cleats, and what we're looking for is more support within the industry. So I believe ANS Gear will start to carry the cleats that we wear, and they're working really well for us. Obviously, cleats are a very vital, important aspect to paintball, and everybody has to buy them. Paintball companies can't really focus on making a cleat, which is why it's really good to always or generally go with the companies that's what they do. So one of the main reasons, that it's really important to support, all these other brands that are outside the industry, like Kind Bars, like the Crave Jerkies, like the Under Armours and whoever else that's outside the industry, is to get their support within it. And maybe it translates just to free product for us, some shoes, some Kind snacks. Maybe it translates to money well into the future. But at the end of the day, if they do enjoy and do take part in paintball, it's the future paintball players like you guys watching. All the guys that are wanting to know how to go from D5 to pro. When you guys get there, hopefully companies like Under Armour will be still supporting paintball, and that will translate into some big bucks. And as far as prize money, how it used to be back in the day, because right now we need the support from everybody in the industry to make it grow and to make, so anytime you hashtag, Under Armour or Kind Snacks or Nike or whatever it is, let them know your support and bring them into the sport.
And it's cool because these guys are supporting us, so why don't we support them? Why don't you guys support them? It's like when I used to skateboard, with the guys who I liked and the sponsors that they had, it's like I went for that. And I think that's important because we want to grow the sport. We want to get these other outside sponsors in here. And honestly, they can sponsor us, but you guys have to be the ones that support them also, And think of it. They're doing what they can do for the growth of the sport. Why don't you do what you can do for the growth of the sport? And essentially, like Ryan said, the future is in your hands. In terms of this, and next thing you know, we got big sponsorships, and actually you can make we can have paintball be a real professional sport one day.
And that's what we need, is we need the growth and the help from you guys, from us, and from outside of the industry. So with that said, Oliver's got to get back out to his travels and get into a hot spring quickly before his life
before the tournament.
Yeah, before the tournament, he says starts soaking in some hot
I
baths.
need to be soaking at least 10 to 15 hours a day before the tournament.
You can't imagine how much I hated that word soaking. That we just got to soak when we're driving around through Iceland, around that little country. Let's just get a little soak.
Yeah, just soak. Let's count.
Oliver's going to go draw himself a bath because he's just at my house for tonight, and he's going to be dreaming of being in a soak pool
in nature with my hot girlfriend in the hot spring. So I'm at Ryan's house.
All right, so thank you very much
Where's
for watching.
Where's the
coconut? Thank you very much for watching the Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. And comment below on any other questions you guys might have for the next Q&A, and who else you'd like to see without him, because we don't want to get bored of having the same old people.
But if you want to follow me soaking in hot springs, follow Ollie Lang on Instagram.
There you go. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Nailed it.